worked night shift as a nurse on the fourth floor. The fourth floor was like long-term patients, usually elderly people, end of life comfort kind of a thing, mostly quiet, right? So there was one night I was doing charting and a call button went off for the patient that was in room 412. So the patient that was in room 412 was nonverbal, late stage dementia, couldn't walk, and could barely lift up her hands. So anyways, I grab my clipboard and I start walking down the hall. I go into 412's room and she was sitting up. That alone was very wrong. She hasn't sat up unassisted in weeks, and her eyes were wide open, staring at the corner of the ceiling. So I just kind of said her name really softly, asked if she needed something, and she took her hand and she pointed up to the ceiling. Again, very wrong. She could barely lift up her hands. Anyway, so I looked up where she was looking and there was nothing there. So I just kind of went over, I checked her vitals. I said, "Are you in pain?" And she just kind of kept staring up in the corner. And then she softly whispered, "He's not a doctor." "Who isn't a doctor?" And she carefully took her finger and he pointed it to the doorway behind me that I walked through. And my stomach just kind of dropped a little bit. I started to feel a little icky. And I felt a cold breeze go up my neck. I turned around. Nobody was there. The hallway was empty. So I go back and look at her and she's laying flat. Eyes are closed. Monitor is monitoring. It was as if she never moved, like that whole thing didn't just happen. So I just kind of marked down what happened in some notes and then I just tried to brush it off. So that had happened somewhere between 2:30 to 2:40 a.m. And then at 3:07 a.m., security called the nurses station and they said, "Why is there somebody in a white coat walking on that floor?" I told them that no physicians were on that unit overnight, and they said that the man didn't have a badge on him. So they were saying when they tried to approach him, he turned a corner past room 412 and disappeared, which is very odd because there are no exits down that hallway. Room 412's patient actually passed away the next afternoon, and from there on out, around 2:30 a.m. to 2:40 a.m., the cameras always would glitch on that floor.